In the earlier video, I taught how to code tables which are used to show the data depending on your requirements. In this video, we're going to dig deeper and learn more about tables. To begin with, let's draw a table in Microsoft Word. Let's make a 3 rows, 3 columns table like we did in the last video. We're going to do something advanced here. In a normal table, we have equal number of rows and columns. But what if we want the 2 columns in a row be merged? In Microsoft Word, it's a super simple task as you see on the screen. Let us explore how to merge rows and columns in HTML. As an example, let's carry on with the same table as you see on the screen. Now what I'm going to do here is place data in each cell of the table. Let's open the same notepad file we used in the last video. We have a 3 rows by 3 column table here. So I'll make use of the existing code and make the changes accordingly. Now if you compare the table I've drawn in the Microsoft Word, the difference is that there are 2 cells in the first row. So we need only 2 TD tags in the first row and include these 2 cells in one TD. We do this using a property of the table cell called ColSpan, also known as column-span. In our case, ColSpan will only be applied to first cell which is being merged. So as you see, I have applied this code on the first cell. And the value of ColSpan will be the number of cells which we are willing to merge. Since we needed to merge only 2 columns, so I've specified the value as 2 and then we specify the data. We don't need the third TD now, so I'm going to delete it. Now looking at the table in MS Word, all cells are in place. We don't need to modify anything in our existing code of second row except the data. So we just have to change the data here. Now looking at the third row of the table in Microsoft Word, you will see that the second and third cell have been merged. So we need to put the ColSpan in the second TD of the third row. The value of ColSpan will be 2 again. Let's place our data and delete the third cell as we don't need it any longer. Let's save the file and run it in the browser. This is perfect. Same layout as we had drawn in Microsoft Word. Now let's take an example where we merge table rows instead of columns. So let's take a normal 3x3 table first and merge these 2 cells of 2 different rows and these 2 cells as well. To implement this in HTML, the property which we need to play with is RowSpan. Now where do we need to use the RowSpan? In the third cell of the first row and in the first cell of the second row. Let's put the data again and apply RowSpan in the third column of first row. Now moving on to the second row, we need to do the same with the first TD and delete the third column of second row because the RowSpan had been applied on the cell above it. I hope this is not confusing for you. Let me explain again. Since we already included third cell of the first row in this RowSpan, we need to delete the cell appearing directly below it. That is third cell of the second row. Now as we have merged the first cell of the second row with the first cell of the third row, so we need to delete the first cell of the third row as it appears directly below the RowSpan. As you see, RowSpan successfully merged the cells we intended to merge. So based on your requirements to use RowSpan or ColSpan or both of them in a table, you can use any. I hope you understood the entire session of this video. Thanks for watching.